So, this is going to be part of a new segment we're going to start doing here at Odds and Ends Gaming called, it was the doof here sitting next to me that came up with the name Shoot the Shit Saturday, which is just going to be us discussing things that have come up in the week or games that we've played, games we want to play, you know, trailers and stuff like that. We're just going to be shooting the shit. So that's what this is. This is the inaugural episode of Shoot the Shit Saturday. And the first thing that I want to bring up to you is, have you seen the trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I have not.
You need to go watch it. Like right now. Just look up Sonic the Hedgehog and we'll be right back because this guy's gonna watch it right now. And we're gonna get your thoughts on this. That top one right there. Alright. So now that I'm done horking up bile, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Pass. As soon as I saw the same people behind Fast and the Furious, I was like, nope, this is definitely not gonna happen. Oh, never mind.
Well, I mean, I have always been an optimist, and I'm up for giving anything a chance, but that trailer, everything about it, that movie is like, why? First of all, like you mentioned, Gangster's Paradise? When the hell has Sonic ever been gangsta? I mean, that makes no sense right there, first of all. His design, I mean, do we even have to talk about his design? It seems, I'm a big fan of the classic Sonic the Hedgehog games. I enjoyed Sonic Generations. I've liked I've played a little bit of Sonic Mania. I enjoy it. I think that's a great throwback back to the original fans. But it seems like Sonic itself, on its progression, they've been like freaking morphing him ever so often or ever so little into a humanoid form, and this is just a freaking human Sonic hybrid that basically, I think he's screaming in his head, please kill me, because everything about it looks terrible, just terrible. I'm not a big fan of like Pokemon. I used to watch the original series when I was a kid, but if you've seen the trailers for Detective Pikachu, the freaking the CGI looks freaking awesome. It looks pretty damn good, and the characters have retained their cartoony caricature forms while being made to look like they belong in the real world. But this is just terrible. This is, I mean, everything about this trailer, honestly, the only thing that I liked about this trailer was the little very last scene at the end where Jim Carrey actually resembled Robotnik or Eggman or whatever the fuck they're calling him nowadays. That's the only thing that I actually liked about this trailer at all. And another thing, since when is Sonic electric? I don't remember anything about Sonic being electrified. They're trying to go the way of the Flash from, DC, the DC universe. The Flash, you know how when he runs, he generates this electrical field.
Yeah.
So it's like they're trying to do that. So now he's like electric. He leaves electric fur everywhere and shit. And I'm like, what? That's new to me. I mean, to me, it's just god awful. The music selection, the design. They don't put these franchises in the hands of fans. They put it in the hands of people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they just want to try to make as much money as possible, and they pump out this garbage. I have no faith in this movie whatsoever.
Oh no, it's gonna flop horribly. It's especially having Jim Carrey in there as a star actor as he is. It looks like it's a role for him being Dr. Robotnik. It looks like he's gonna play it into his old Jim Carrey self, but aside from that, yeah, I have no faith in this movie. It's gonna do horribly.
And I have heard things of where trailers are judged early, and they usually they make. I mean, we still have until November, but I really don't see them completely redesigning Sonic himself, plus the story itself. And like you said, you mentioned Fast and the Furious. It looks like basically a crossover between Sonic the Hedgehog and Fast and the Furious.
I was waiting for the Rock to come. Fucking Vin Diesel.
The Rock. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, nothing about it looked appealing at all. Like, Alvin and the Chipmunks was better than this shit. Like, I saw the first Alvin and the Chipmunks. I thought their design was pretty damn good. It was reminiscent of the cartoons and at the same time looked like realistic chipmunks. Never explained why they are, you know, in the human world or why they're chipmunks that can talk or whatever. But you know what? To me, it didn't need to. And it was a decent holiday flick. It was okay. I mean, obviously it's not a freaking movie I'm gonna go back to time and again or anything like that, but it was decent. But this, I mean, I don't understand what premise this has. So it seems almost like the trailer leads you to believe that he's, you know, what's the word? He's native to this planet, but yet he brings up, oh, I'm gonna have to save your world. So is he from another dimension, another planet? What the fuck? I don't. I mean, yeah, it just looks terrible.
He's Poochie.
Poochie, yeah, I have to go. My planet needs me. But yeah, I just wanted to get your take on that because yeah, if you hadn't seen it, it's something that you have to see. I mean, you have to see it to believe, just to see how terrible it is. And I mean, Sega, how you have fallen from grace. I mean, what the hell?
I heard about it, but even just hearing about the movie, it did not pique my interest in looking for the trailer up until now. But I mean, even then, it's a movie no one asked for to be created. Not too long ago, they created a Ratchet and Clank animated movie, and it looked really done. I personally have not seen it yet.
I haven't.
That's kind of a movie 10 years too late, and I think that movie flopped pretty bad as well.
It did. And I saw it. I did see the Ratchet and Clank movie. I thought it was okay. The big killer about that movie is that it's boring. It's actually not that entertaining. I don't think the acting, the characters, the designs were great. The designs look just like the PlayStation characters. They look fantastic. I think the acting is decently done. You know, fun fact, I don't know if you know, but Sylvester Stallone was in that movie. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, he played like this big robot. I don't remember his name, but this big bad guy robot, and I didn't even know it was him. I kind of heard traces of his voice, but when I looked at the cast, I found out that it was Sylvester Stallone in that. But yeah, I thought it was a decent movie. It was kind of boring, honestly. The action scenes were lackluster, and it didn't engage you too well. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good movie. But yeah, I definitely wanted to show you that trailer. I wanted to see for sure that you got to see that. But another thing I wanted to bring up to you for this Shoot the Shit Saturday is I knew you've been playing the Division 2 a lot. You said that you put in a few hours into that. What are your thoughts on that so far?
I'm liking it. I'm liking Division 2 a lot. I have it for the PS4. I've done one live stream of it so far, and with my wonky hours, I haven't really been able to stream since then. But I've been playing pretty consistent right now, and I think I'm up to level 23. I enjoyed the hell out of the first one. This one, it's that plus so much more that they've really put together. The way I like to say to describe it, it's like I Am Legend. If you've ever seen that movie where it's Will Smith in the city, well, obviously that one was in New York. This is in DC, but it has that same feel of the foliage coming out and the wild animals here and there. But I'm definitely liking
nature taking back the planet, so to speak.
Yeah, so at least DC for the game since it's specifically there, but I like it. I like it a lot. I'm still playing it. This is one that I'll keep playing. Days Gone also just came out, so that's what's kind of taking my time. So I'm trying to juggle between the two. But I am liking the Division. The weapon selection's pretty good. There's more to offer in game. I haven't finished it yet, but I like
Does it have a good story?
Yes, I like the story. I like the progression. There's a bunch of side missions that you can do in the different fields or different areas in the map.
One thing that always impressed me about the first Division was the physics and the range of physics and the amount of impact you can have on your surroundings. Like, there was this one part that I just spent about 2 minutes shooting out a glass window around, and when I finally cut the whole part out, the big glass section in the middle fell down, and that kind of like just blew my mind at how the range of physics, is that still present, or has it been improved, or did they kind of tone that down a bit in the Division 2?
It's there, and I ended up doing the same thing without even thinking about it. I was in some random office, and there was a glass pane, and I was just shooting it just to see. It was on the top portion. I was trying to shoot it to see if it would fall down, and sure enough, it did. And I was trying to shoot that bigger piece, and it did kind of burst into smaller shards. But the graphics is still there. It's still a very beautiful game.
Nice. I hope to pick it up myself. I don't know if PC in the future or what. I don't see it in my personal future right now, just because I'm not sure my PC would run it. But I'll definitely, look for updates from you on that some more. One game that I haven't heard you mention at all, and I'm actually very curious to hear what you have to say about this one. You played it, I think, once for the channel on the stream, and it has just gotten completely panned by critics. From what I hear, is Anthem. Any thoughts on that?
I've only played it that one time, to be honest, but yes, from everything I've been hearing as well, it's just a really bad game. Everyone's hoping it was going to be the game Destiny wasn't. It turned out to be almost pretty much exactly the same thing as Destiny, which turned out to be both just major disappointments. Loot boxes were just ridiculous. The grind that is there that you have to do that gives you very minute progress or rewards for different weapons or gear. The only kind of perk is you kind of feel like Iron Man being able to fly through the sky, but then you overheat and you have to stop and rest or cool down.
So is it kind of like one of those play to win type games?
It's kind of like that. It's a run and gun, but with the Galat loot. Comparing with Division, you get so much loot, and it progressively gets better as you rank up. From what I hear, Anthem is supposed to kind of be like that, but the way they've designed the game, the reward isn't worth the grind, and it's not worth it. You put in all these hours and you're trying to play the game at a harder level and you get no rewards for it.
I gotta say, I'm actually really disappointed to hear it, because this game was developed, if I'm not mistaken, from BioWare, right? This is a BioWare game?
Correct.
BioWare gave me my all-time favorite game series of all time, and that's Mass Effect. I think the Mass Effect trilogy, and I say trilogy because I'm discounting Andromeda, because I'm going to talk about Andromeda in a bit, but the Mass Effect trilogy, the Commander Shepard trilogy, was just a masterpiece. I say from beginning to end, the fact that every single decision you make, every path you take, impacts not only that game and the ending, but the ending and the course of the following games if you load your saves in, and it gives you this feel of this epic saga. It's brilliant storytelling, the graphics are great, the cutscenes are as cinematic as can be, and it's just a great game series that I absolutely love and adore, without fail. And then they turn around and they start giving people things like Mass Effect Andromeda, which I don't know if you've ever played Andromeda, but that one flopped. I remember one of the most ridiculous things I saw about Mass Effect Andromeda were the rubbery freaking faces and stiff facial animations. And the most hilarious thing is that BioWare tried to laugh it away, or explain it away, I should say, by having one character say, "I'm sorry if I'm not moving my face right, I'm just tired," or something like that. Like, that is literally a fucking line in the game. "My face is tired, that's why my face looks like this."
All right, what happened? To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
Because of the rubbery animations, the rubbery skins, the stiff animations, like it just looked terrible. It apparently it suffered from the same kind of loot box shit, the cluttered menus, and the game itself just became just horrible compared to its predecessors. But BioWare just seems to be another one of these devs that is falling to this plague of freaking live service or pay to win type monetization of games. Like Bethesda, look at Fallout 76. Fallout 76 was one of the worst investments I made in buying a game. I remember I was thinking about, I don't buy games too often just because my financial situation, and I was like, you know what, I love Fallout. I had faith in Bethesda. I've always had faith in Bethesda, and I thought it was going to be a great game, and I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it so much, and it turned out to be hot garbage. So, I mean, we got devs like Blizzard and BioWare and Bethesda just going to shit. And these are fucking powerhouse developers, and they're just succumbing to this greed, and their games and the products that they're turning out are just, hot garbage, and it's sad. And the thing is, I understand wanting to make money and wanting to get money from your fan base, but I think World of Warcraft did it right. I used to be big into World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft, I understand it takes money to keep those servers running, to keep those multiplayer servers up and going, but do it right. World of Warcraft had a flat fee subscription rate. You can buy a month for $20. I think it was like 6 months for like $60 or something like that, a year for a certain amount of time and whatnot. So you had to pay to subscribe, but there was no buying gold or buying in-game merchandise. You had to actually earn it. So if anything, these games should go to like a subscription-based service where at least then the fans know what they have to get into. They know that there's a subscription cost in order to be able to keep the servers up, in order to keep, things going, but not a fucking pay to win.
It's not gonna work. You can blame that on the games on cell phones. All those pay to play, basically the microtransactions. That's the cash cows right now. That transitioned into actual games, whether it's console or PC. Why you can wait the 8 hours to do your thing, or for 50 cents or however much it is, you can get it now and you can play. And it's the microtransactions, those are cash cows, and you can just look up the numbers, and companies aren't not going to give that away. They're too greedy.
Well, and you mentioned, you can buy it and play it now. That's another thing that I fucking hate is broken games, what they call early access. There's a lot, and I get beta testing, I get, play testing, but there's a lot of games that are basically described as being finished, but with early access. All you're playing is you're paying to play it sooner than anybody else, and what you get is a broken game, or even not even talking about early access, but games that get released with an official release date, and they're filled with bugs and crashes and just plagued with problems. I mean, what other industry can you buy a product that is incomplete or doesn't function and are expected to be okay with it? What do? They say, oh, we have a patch coming out here, we have a patch coming out there. I understand a bug here and there, but sometimes when something is fucking plagued with just massive problems and they expect the players to be okay with it, that's ridiculous. That's just terrible. I hate where the game industry is heading, and a lot of people feel, and probably rightfully so, that the game industry is headed for a crash. I personally don't want to see it. I know a few people that do want to see a game crash. I don't, because I love to play video games, and I don't think a game crash would be the right thing. But unfortunately, unless these devs, take away that greed mindset, that's exactly where we're heading.
Pretty much. All too concerned about money right now and with that going on. They're putting their own bank accounts to get that corporate bonus over the enjoyment and content for the players. And Anthem was supposed to have this thing coming out this month. That got pushed back, and
I heard about that.
So it's just there changes need to happen. Whether it's going to happen, probably not anytime soon, but it's just one of those crazy things where, again, it boils down to greed.
Well, at the very least, I'm happy to hear that you say that you don't think Division 2 seems to be suffering from this in your eyes. And I've heard the same thing from other players and stuff. I've heard that people are saying that it is a good game and it's enjoyable and it's gotten pretty good reviews. So at least, if nothing else, because I know that you had a handful of new games. What was the other one? Far Cry New Dawn and Metro Exodus. I haven't heard any words on those. Is it just because of your time, or you didn't really enjoy those, or?
I honestly just bought more games that I can play at the moment, and then I just have a bad habit of doing that, of starting games, not finishing them, but I will get back to them at some point. But right now, I think the two that I'm focused on are going to be the Division 2 and Days Gone.
What are your thoughts on Days Gone? You haven't really talked about that one. So what's how are you liking Days Gone?
I liked it. I did my second stream last night, played about an hour until my internet had an outage, so I wasn't able to stream anymore. But I like Days Gone. If right now, it feels like a mesh-up between The Last of Us, which is a really good game, and Horizon Zero Dawn. Both really spectacular games.
I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, but I do own and have played The Last of Us, and I do agree. I love that game for sure. So I'm right there with you on that one. So if any game can give you a Last of Us feel, then it's definitely worth looking into, because yeah, that game is a masterpiece for sure.
Yes, like I said, I'm barely about 2 hours in. It's a lot of stealth. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can go in guns blazing and all that, but then you'll be torn apart really easily by all these zombies.
I'm pretty sure I'd be good at that game, because, stealth is my specialty.
Sure.
Dude, I'm the master of stealth. I'm like...
No.
I think I was a ninja in my past life or something.
I don't think so, unless that ninja was Chris Farley playing that ninja movie.
The Beverly Hills Ninja?
Yes. That's the ninja I would picture you.
That's my ninja animal, or my ninja spirit right there, Chris Farley.
Pretty much. But
hey, you remember my stealth during freaking For Honor? I mean, wasn't that awesome? Oh shit!
Only the most devoted warriors had answered Seijuro's call. At a word, they were prepared to die for their war.
way to go! Yo, it's a stealth mission.
The price of unity.
Way to go.
Shut up! I used the thing, I have to fucking make use of it. I popped it by accident, so might as well make the most of it. I can take these guys.
Leroy Jacob.
Alright, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this.
We got this! What the hell is stealth anyway? Like, what?
Something you can't do. That you're not capable of.
Roddy, we need your stealth. Go take out the guard real quiet-like, and the rest of us will sneak past.
Gotcha, Hogan. Hey, 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 you fucking Nazi! How are ya? Hey!
I thought we were supposed to kill them.
Yeah, I could see you doing the same thing in Days Gone. Just no.
Right, well, that's pretty much all I have for this Shoot the Shit Saturday. Do you got anything else to add?
Settle down.
You settle down.
Oh, no, that's it. There should be more to come.
Yeah, and just, again, this is going to be a new segment. Sometimes it'll be just me and Obs. Sometimes it'll be, hopefully, the four of us when we can nail down the schedule. Me, Obs, Val, and Ring. It might be just Val and Ring. It might be me and Val. And it's just us talking about games we've played, games to come, things that are in the news on the gaming front, things of that nature. So stay tuned for the next Shoot the Shit Saturday. And settle down.
Doof.